hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever or whatever you identify as. Welcome back to the Shed of Dread. Welcome to another video. Right then, just recently, I think it was today, maybe yesterday, a gentleman from Fox News asked President Biden to sort of clarify and question why they need to walk back on several things that Sleepy Joe has said. Well, I'm going to play the clips, and I'm also added into what that auditing, the actual clips proving that what he said he did say, even though apparently they never happened and it wasn't said. Watch it through with the evidence and think for yourselves. As I always say, I'm not telling you what to think. What I'm asking you to do is just simply think. And the question you need to think is, who is the most dangerous man in the world right now? Is it Vladimir Putin, who's, let's be brutally honest, Russian forces have had their asses handed to them by the Ukrainians? I think this war is coming to an end, personally. I think that the peace talks will come. Russia needs to get out of it really quickly because they are losing. The one thing that this war has demonstrated, or should I say conflict has demonstrated, is the fact that the long-held fear of the Russian ground forces, which have been held since the late 60s and 70s and even into the 80s, when people like myself were stationed in the Rhine, were all a myth. I mean, all it's done is shown how awful the Russian military really is, what it's supposed to be brilliant at. So I think these peace talks will come to fruition, and I think we will soon see the end of the war. But the problem is Sleepy Joe Biden clearly doesn't want that. Sleepy Joe Biden clearly wants to walk us into a war. And especially with his calling Vladimir Putin a butcher and recalling, and he did call, as you'll see on the video, for Putin's removal, he's angling for war. Who is the most dangerous man? Putin or Sleepy Joe Biden, who will even on live national TV swear blind he didn't say what he actually said? So, sit back, watch the video, and I'll see you at the end of it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I know you're going to ask a really nice question.
Well, it's an important question, I think. Are you worried that other leaders in the world are going to start to doubt that America is back if some of these big things that you say on the world stage keep getting walked back?
What's getting walked back?
It made it sound like, just in the last couple days, it sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine. It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. God bless you all, and may God defend.
And we know
none of the three occurred.
None of the three occurred?
None of the three.
Mr. President?
You interpret the language that way. I was talking to the troops. We're talking about helping train the troops that are the Ukrainian troops that are in Poland. That's what the context. I sat there with those guys for a couple hours. That's what we talked about.
So when you said you're going to see when you're there, you were not intending to
I was referring to meeting with and talking with the Ukrainian troops that were in Poland. And you're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people standing in the middle in front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving.
You said a chemical weapon use by Russia would trigger a response in kind.
It will trigger a significant response.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you? You got to be silly.
Trigger a military response from NATO?
It would trigger a response in kind. Whether or not you're asking whether NATO would cross, we'd make that decision at the time.
So, as I said, I'm not telling you what to think. All I'm doing is asking you to think. Who's more dangerous? Who worries you more? I know Biden worries me. I know Biden worries a lot of people. This man should never have been given or put in the position of power. I know Tucker Carlson on Fox News came out and demanded that he be removed from office because he's a threat to national security. I personally don't think he's a threat to national security. I think he's a threat to world survival, because this lunatic will do anything and swear blind, as the evidence has just proven in those videos that he didn't do anything or say that at all. That's worrying. That is really worrying. And if it's not worrying you, it genuinely should. So in any case, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and share. I know my videos don't get to that many people, but sharing them helps. Showing that you like also helps. If you've watched this video to the end just to dislike it, or as it seems to be now, people are just actually disliking this video before they've even watched it, then thank you for the interaction. It's much welcome. Genuinely, as the warning says at the beginning, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care at all. What I do care about is sitting and trying to talk through things, to give a different perspective. I have already been accused of being a Putin lover and a genocide excuser, which I'm neither. All I'm doing is trying to point out the fact that things aren't as they seem. And the man that we really should be worried about is the leader of the United States of America. So, with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you.